It's been a bit of an interesting week here for the Patriots, who I believe have just taken off now for London and will be on their way there in transit across the pond. This type of week, I think, has brought up some questions with Christian Barmore and his whole thing in Providence, as well as some of the back and forth between Jalen Polk and the coaching staff. And I guess the question is, what's the vibe right now in this locker room? How is everybody sort of reacting to this news? And is Drake Maye in control of things?
I think the vibe is they need to win. They need it really badly. What I'm kind of focusing on this week is, which is kind of related to what you're talking about, is when it's stated so frequently that it's a building year and a foundational year, and you're trying to move ahead and establish who you want to be a part of the future. There's an acknowledgement within that you're a team that doesn't really expect to win and succeed very much this year. You're trying to win. You're trying to get better. You're trying to figure out who you're going to be. But there doesn't seem to be like the same week-to-week urgency with that mindset. You contrast that with last year, for instance. Last year, the Patriots were a bad team, too. I don't know if they were 1-4, but floundering. But there was an urgency that was present always because they were trying to get to a place. And then when the urgency left, because you could tell that they were not getting to the place of success, there became urgency just in the anticipation of what was going to happen. And I think it's different now because the expectations are so low that the urgency is absent. And when the urgency is absent, I wonder if guys take the same level of ownership. It kind of tracks back to me pointing out Drake Maye glad-handing after the Jets game a few weeks ago. And again, that was something that I used as a jumping-off point for a bigger picture is don't be accepting of losses. Don't be accepting of being a bad team. Don't just say, well, that's how it is and that's how we are. And that's how I think the two things are related. You know, Jalen Polk can take responsibility for dropping balls that are clearly catchable in his hands and not say he's got the best hands in the NFL. I don't get the concept. And I think yeah, you can hear him talking in circles here, but that's the point I'm trying to make with this team and the vibe right now.
Tom, do you like my idea? And I don't know if you could hear it when you were waiting. I want this team. I'm a little like Kayshon Boutte, be a little more aggressive. I know Drake Maye wants to start fast. What's wrong with the idea of maybe taking the ball, or if you get possession first, going, I don't know, shotgun, tempo, let Drake Maye throw the ball a few times to start the game, kind of taking the bull by the horns and trying to get everybody involved early.
I love it. And the reason is we spent 5 weeks and they got to 1-4 trying not to lose.
Right.
Trying to play games close to the vest, stay in the game, wait for the other team to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And in playing not to lose, they lost all attack mode, and Jacoby Brissett was basically willing to take sacks and unwilling to try and make plays. And I think that Alex Van Pelt called the offense in a similar way. And he actually came out last week doing the same thing. I mean, they didn't want to get him into 3rd and down, and they run the ball on 1st and 2nd down right into the middle of the defense. Of course it's going to be 3rd and 8.
Yep.
So, yeah, 100%. You have nothing to lose. It's hard to watch you right now. At least be fun. And last week's game was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. It was very fun to watch. It would not be fun if Drake Maye is out with a knee injury. Did he or did he not get an MRI, Tommy Curran?
And is there a house in Connecticut?
Yes, right. That too. First of all, we know that only one person has really reported this. I heard Phil Perry talking about it yesterday, or last night, I should say, and I guess the team hasn't denied it. Is there any update on MRI gate here?
No. I have no information as to whether or not he got an MRI. He's on the injured list with a knee. He was full participant yesterday. We'll see if he's listed as full again today. But he's got a knee injury, and it tracks that somebody with a bad knee might get an MRI. But he's a full participant, so I just until he's missing time, I would or declared limited, and we saw a video of him today, or saw him out of practice moving around fine. Whether or not he got an MRI, I think is. I mean, I can't imagine that Ben Volen would make it up out of whole cloth. And I know that he's had some sourcing issues in the past, but he's got a knee thing. I wouldn't be stunned if he had an MRI.
So, Your guy, Gerard Mayo, I don't know if I want to call it, he didn't threat, he didn't really promise. He just sort of stated that there's going to be changes, including starting lineup changes based on the way the team's been playing, based on some of the undisciplined play. Do you like sort of the approach he's taking in that area in terms of trying to get these guys in order and to do the right thing? And am I wrong to assume Jalen Polk could be one of the options to not get as much playing time?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, if you don't catch the football and you're one of the lowest rated receivers, if not the lowest rated receiver in terms of balls, is he 9 or 10 catches out of 24 balls directed his way, and the number of drops has to be close to 4 or 5. I think that I would say, yeah, that would be a place to start. Does that mean he's trash and can never play? I doubt it. He looked good all summer. So, of course, did Tyquan Thornton annually, but I digress. I think it's a smart move. You asked initially about the vibe around the team, and you know the Barmore thing is the Barmore thing, but then you add them all up. The Javon Baker speaking out on social media because he was mad at authorities. Now Barmore speaking out on social media. You have Jabril Peppers has been arrested. You have just this vibe around the team of a little bit of disorganization, and I think that they need to ooze competency and ooze we're in control here. We have structure. We're in a position where we have put football at the highest level of importance to us. So if saying out loud at the podium, we're going to make changes, when I ask him, what do you do when these guys commit penalties? Are you going to yell at them? I mean, who gets yelled at was the question that I asked them when they have repeated penalties. And just to state, I'm going to make changes, I guess is at least trying to get your hands on the reins.
Any idea who else he could have been referring to, if not Jalen Polk?
No, I guess anybody, because it was a question related to penalties, anybody who committed a penalty that was head-scratching and horrible would be probably in the crosshairs.
Okay. Robert Kraft spoke with the Breakfast Club this week. Were you surprised by his comments on Bill Belichick and the way things ended there? It seems like he struck a bit of a different tone from what he's been saying for really since it happened.
Just using the word fire, I think would be, I mean, I think that we all understood that when they stood there and said that it was a mutual parting of the ways, the reason they were mutually parting was because Bill wasn't accomplishing what they had hoped. And I think that Robert probably understood Bill wasn't willing to make whatever changes could have even conceivably been made to keep the job. So it was going to be a firing based upon the performance of the team over the last 5 years and the direction that it was in and the drafting and everything else. So when we look back, really, Christian, at all the saber rattling that Robert Kraft did in the years prior about he's got to perform, we've got to make the playoffs, we have to be a team that does these things, there was always an or else attached. So for him to articulate to the Breakfast Club or whatever it was that he didn't do those things, so he was fired, really tracks with everything else he said. I think it was more honest than he had been previously. So there's got to be a point at which one would hope that being stated, which is the facts of the matter, as far as Robert Kraft was concerned, agree or disagree with the decision to move on from Bill, let sleeping dogs fly.
I understand this is a premature question. It's also disrespectful, but I asked it to...
Who's getting fired?
Funny, you're pretty good at this then. I asked it to Mike Giardi yesterday, and he gave me an interesting answer. I won't tell you his answer, but what do you think the percent chances are that Alex Van Pelt is the offensive coordinator for the Patriots in 2025?
93.
Oh, interesting.
Look at, just simply, what's the most important thing for the New England Patriots in 2024?
Developing Drake Maye.
Drake Maye.
100%. Drake Maye, when he was out there at his first rookie minicamp, was robotic. Bedard and Giardi both said he's got a hitch in his throw. He didn't look extremely smooth. His footwork was in progress. By the time minicamp came, he wasn't a hell of a lot better. You could still see that. And we all had some misgivings about little aspects of what we were watching. Beginning of training camp, Jacoby Brissett was a better player than Drake Maye by a kind of significant amount, and he outperformed him at the beginning of training camp. Midway through training camp, Maye kind of hit the turbo boost, and he started performing better and better. And now over the first 6 weeks, as Van Pelt pointed out today about something that Maye didn't practice this week, he said, I don't think he could have done that in week one. The most important thing in 2024 is developing Drake Maye. Drake Maye is developing at a pretty astounding clip when you really look at where he was and where he is. So I would think he's doing a really good job with that, with the most important thing. Is the play calling second guessable? 1,000,000%.
All right.
Is he getting what he needs to from his different positional places, especially wide out offensive line? No. But the point I'm trying to make is if he's doing well with that, steady would probably be the way to go next year too. Sorry about that.
I apologize, Tommy, but it is now time for the flex.
No, what do you think? Do you think that makes sense?
No, I do. I was just really looking forward to the flex of the game, and I was just very excited to get to it. And that's what we got to do.
Better
here.
have
So,
one.
With Tommy Curran's flex of the game presented by FlexCar. Ditch the dealership and save thousands with FlexCar. Tommy Curran, what's the key to this game this weekend against the Jaguars in London?
The key to this game is going to be Drake Maye's ability to be mobile. He ran for 3 first downs last week, was able to generate plenty of yards in off-schedule throws as well, including the one to Hunter Henry for 30-plus yards. Will he be limited at all with his knee? So the flex of the game is how well does Drake Maye actually flex his knee on Sunday in London? So bear that in mind as you watch the New England Patriots taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday morning in London.